Tonight, CBS proudly presents The Homecoming, a Christmas story by Earl Hamner, Jr., a warm and inspiring all-family movie made especially for television. Starring Patricia Neal. The story of a family and a Christmas Eve that changed their lives forever.
My grandfather used to say that nobody owns a mountain, but getting born and living and dying in its shadow, we loved Walton's Mountain and felt it was ours. The Walton family had endured in that part of the Blue Ridge for over 200 years, a short time in the memory of a mountain. Still, our roots had grown deep in its earth. When I was growing up there with my brothers and sisters, I was certain that no one on earth had quite so good a life. I was 15 and growing at an alarming rate. Each morning I woke, convinced I had added another inch to my height while I slept. I was trying hard to fill my father's shoes that winter. We were in the middle of the Depression, and the mill on which our village depended had closed. My father had found work in a town 50 miles away, and he could only be with us on weekends. On Christmas Eve, early in the afternoon, we had already started looking forward to his homecoming.
Hold on, girl. I tell you, I don't know what's the matter with you. You think it's springtime or something? Next last time you're gonna get out of there and run up in the hill? You some kind of rabbit? Now move. Get up. Get up. I'm gonna give you some of the best hay you ever cracked your tin of. Open the door. Why don't you play something Christmassy, Jason?
It's not Christmas yet.
Well, it's Christmas Eve.
When will it really be Christmas, John Boy?
Tonight at midnight when Grandpa rings the church bell.
Grandpa says at midnight on Christmas Eve, cows get down on their knees and pray.
You believe that, John Boy?
Wouldn't that be a wonder?
I'm going to find out. Going to come up here tonight and keep watch.
I'm coming with you, Mary Ellen.
Me too. Me three.
Yeah, now, you better ask your mama before you go prowling around the place at midnight. How'd you like to bump into Santa Claus?
I already asked Mama, and she said she'd think about it.
Well, I want you all to listen to me a minute. You try not to worry Mama today.
Something wrong, John Boy?
Well, she's got a lot on her mind.
Like what?
Well, Daddy promised he'd be home early today, and he's not here yet.
Daddy'll get here. You know he'll get here.
Well, sure he will, but first he's got to pick up his paycheck, get it cashed, and take a bus to Charlottesville, and take another bus to Hickory Creek, and from there he's got to hitchhike 6 miles. It's going to take a while.
Sure.
Meanwhile, let's get this wood in the house so we'll have a nice warm fire when he gets here.
Peace on earth, goodwill to men.
Now, you all come and eat before your soup gets cold.
I'm hungry enough to eat a horse.
Yeah, if this depression gets any worse, you may have to.
Oh, it'll never come to that. Franklin D. Roosevelt's going to put this country on its feet again. You watch my words.
My friends, and you are my friends.
Now, you hush with that disrespect. He's your president.
Get the cow in the barn, son?
Yes, sir.
Storm's going to hit here any time now.
How'd you know that, Grandpa?
Well, I can feel it in my bones.
You pulling my leg, Grandpa?
No, ma'am. My bones feel one way for good weather and another way for bad.
How do you explain that?
Well, it's a science, Mary Ellen, like anything else.
What you asking Santa Claus to bring you, Grandma?
Yeah, I think I'd like a little canary bird.
I could get you a wild one next spring, Grandma.
I don't want anybody catching any wild things. Now, you eat your soup.
I heard the bell.
You want some more?
No, thank you.
Mama's got the Christmas spirit.
What's she doing down in the basement?
Went after apples. Decided to make her applesauce cake after all.
Well, she told me she didn't have enough sugar.
She claims she's going to buy sugar.
It's her money.
Well, it wouldn't be Christmas without Libby's applesauce cake.
There's too much nutmeg in it for my taste.
Who wants to see something pretty?
Me! I
My Christmas cactus. I'd practically forgotten about it. Just dug it downstairs in the basement last fall. And now, would you look?
How can a plant know it's Christmas?
Maybe it feels in its bones like Grandpa.
I rooted this plant from one my mama used to have. It's 17 years old.
I vow to you. Has it been that long?
I planted it the same year John and I were married.
1916, I recollect.
Before the World War.
Why'd you marry Daddy, Mama?
Same reason anybody gets married, baby. Love.
How'd you know you loved him?
Oh, I just knew. Oh, he was a handsome thing in those days, wasn't he, Grandma?
All my boys were handsome.
They took after their daddy.
Listen to the old man.
My family didn't approve of me marrying your daddy. Did you all know that?
What'd they have against Daddy?
Well, my family were big Baptists, and your daddy, in those days, wasn't exactly religious.
He was religious. He just wasn't a churchgoer.
Anyway, when my family said we couldn't get married, your daddy and I sneaked off one night and went to see the Baptist preacher. John said, "We're here to be married." And Preacher Hicks said, "Does your mama know about this?" And I said, "No, sir." And he said, "Well, then I can't marry you." I was scared to death, ready to run right straight home. But your daddy spoke up and said, "Mr. Hicks, you are not the only blankety blind preacher in the world. We'll get us another preacher." Mr. Hicks turned red as a beet. And then he said, "Under the circumstances, then, I will marry you." And so he did.
Daddy, how against going to church?
Oh, he never had the time.
Mama, this morning there was a redbird in your crabapple tree.
Oh, I'd love to have seen it.
That redbird's gonna freeze tonight.
He won't freeze. The redbird has a knack of surviving winter. Otherwise, he would have headed south with the goldfinches and bluebird when the leaves started to turn.
I wish my daddy could fly.
Elizabeth, if he could fly, then he wouldn't have to wait for the bus.
Daddy goes flying around in the air. Somebody's liable to think he's a turkey buzzard and shoot him down.
Don't you worry about your daddy. He'll be home.
Who's gonna crack some walnuts for my applesauce cake? Well, while y'all doing that, I'll run to the store for some sugar.
Well, I'll be glad to fetch it for you, daughter.
Oh, no, thank you, Grandpa. I could use some fresh air, and maybe I'll meet John on the way. Oh, what we need at the store is a traffic light.
Daughter, you sure you won't need help to carry the sugar and all the stuff for Christmas dinner?
Grandpa, if John doesn't get home soon with the money, all we're going to have for Christmas dinner is my applesauce cake. And we won't even have that if I don't get a move on.
Well, don't get any shells in there. You'll bite into that applesauce cake and break a tooth.
I wrote a letter to Santa Claus, but from everything I wanted him to bring me.
It won't do you a speck of good.
How come?
How are you gonna get it to him? He's cleaning up yonder at the North Pole. Lila's gonna get to the North Pole by tonight.
What'll I do, John boy?
You just give it to me, honey. I'll take it down to the post office and mail it special delivery.
I'm much obliged to you, John boy.
What did you ask Santa Claus to bring you, honey?
One whole page in the Sears Robot catalog. A whole page of dolls.
Ben, I know what you want.
Train set.
That's what I thought.
What do you want, Jim Bob?
A teddy bear. Daddy said he'd speak to Santa Claus about it.
I've been thinking about writing to him myself.
Well, what are you asking for, Jason?
Piano?
What is that for?
Everybody is so ignorant around here.
What makes you say that?
Believing in Santa Claus, there's no such thing. It's just something Mom and Daddy made up.
I don't believe you.
That's because you're ignorant. Son, you're gonna be sorry you did that.
Well, now, you just want to make something of it?
Yeah, stand up and fight like a man, liver belly bully.
I'm gonna tell Mommy you said a bad word, Mary Ellen. I hope she washes your mouth. That was soap.
Little old mealy mouth thing, I hope you get a bad cold and sneeze your eyeballs.
Now, you want another swat, Mary Ellen?
I'm not gonna have anything to do with any of you.
What's the matter with Mary Ellen?
Well, she's just crazy. Everybody goes crazy when they're 13.
The world is a big round ball, 8,000 miles, smack through the middle. Walton's Mountain is just a tiny speck on it.
Did you go crazy when you were 13, John boy?
I didn't have time to. I was too busy looking after you children.
You ought to be the youngest like me.
Yeah, well, honey, I got stuck with being the oldest.
Nobody cares how I feel. You know how I feel right this minute? Like if I had breathed in a whole lot of air, I'd just bust like a balloon. Kerpow!
John boy, is the depression gonna last forever?
Oh, Mr. Hoover says that prosperity is just around the corner.
Did God make the depression?
Why, no. It happened in New York City. Something they call Wall Street crashed. And they had to close the banks, and all of a sudden there wasn't any more money. I don't rightly understand it myself.
When I grow up, I'm going to marry a man rich enough to buy me diamonds. And if a depression comes along, we'll just move away from it.
When I grow up, I'm gonna marry a rich man and have lots of babies. I'm not gonna have any babies. What are you gonna have, Elizabeth? Puppies. Stop laughing at me. Stop laughing at me.
What's so funny?
Well, why don't you just get on over here and do some work and you won't have to ask?
I've got no time to be out here cracking walnuts. I haven't learned my Bible page for the day. I'm going to memorize the whole thing, cover to cover.
Feeling better?
I always feel better after I have the cow. You trying to win a prize or something? Just trying to improve my thirst. There's something wrong with them.
They don't know nothing. Think they're so smart. Shoot. I can have puppies if I want to. It don't work like that. You sure? Look, when you grow up, you're going to be a woman, and a woman has babies. Want to know a secret? I don't care. What? I'm going to stay little, not grow up. How? Whenever I start growing, I'm going to squeeze myself and push it back in. Like Daddy and that old yellow duck? Sure. When are you going to start? Start what? Squeezing. Whenever I feel like I'm growing. You growing? Think so. Where? Here. Did you catch it? Sure.
Jim Bob, Elizabeth, y'all come on to the house. Let's see if Daddy's come home.
Don't tell them a thing about it.
Won't do them any good if we did. They're already grown.
Christmas, Cloudy.
How are you boys and girls, Mrs. Walton?
Why, they're just fine. When y'all coming over to see us?
Maybe we'll come over tomorrow and see what Santa Claus brings soon.
Well, you're welcome to come, but Santa Claus isn't bringing much.
Have your boys and girls been bad?
No, but Santa Claus is poor this year. Just like everybody else.
Oh, Merry Christmas, Mrs. Walton.
You too, Hawthorne. I never saw anything the way that child is growing.
Oh, I don't know what they're growing on. Son?
Preaching's a hard line of work, even in the best of times.
Daddy's got an extra job now.
How in the world do you find extra work around here?
Well, to tell you the truth, Mrs. Walton, I'm working for the Baldwin ladies.
I'm surprised at you, Hawthorne.
Oh, now, Mrs. Walton, you know, a man has got to eat.
Everybody knows those two old ladies make bootleg whiskey.
Well, now, they don't call it that. They call it Papa's recipe.
I don't care what they call it. It's still bootleg whiskey.
Oh, no, I can't see a man starving himself to death, Mrs. Walton.
Uh-huh. Cloudy, you come around. We'll be waiting for you.
Okay, Mrs. Walton?
Yeah, put some of that stuff in the back for the ladies now, son.
Yes, we'll take that, and 3 yards of muslin and 6 yards of that Atlanta silk.
Yes. Be with you in a minute,
I do believe you're John Walton's wife.
Yes, ma'am.
Isn't that a stroke of luck, sister? John Walton's just the man we need to see.
Well, John's not home yet. We are expecting him any minute.
We're in such a fix, only John Walton can save us. Do you think this is pretty, sister? Yes, I do. Well, I don't know. I really don't know.
What's the trouble, Miss Emily?
Oh, well, you know, after the judge died, you remember our papa, we got so many calls for his recipe that we had to start making it again. His recipe was famous from one end of the state to the other. Of course, it was tried and true, been in the family for generations.
The judge didn't leave us as much money as most people suspect.
But he did leave us the recipe.
It provides for us in our old age.
I couldn't exist if I had to live on charity.
So we make the recipe.
Or did, till the catastrophe.
What catastrophe is that, Miss Emily?
Our machine is broken down.
We think that the trouble is with a copper coil. You see...
No, sister. It's in the burner. You see, we have to keep the ingredients at a regular temperature while they're cooking.
Emily, the trouble's in the coil. There's something stuck in there that won't let the recipe through.
At any rate, Mr. Walton, we're terribly low on the recipe. We'd be mortified if someone came asking for it and we couldn't supply it.
Well, what did you want John for?
John?
My John.
Oh. Sister, why did we want John Walton?
Sister, we thought that he might, examine the machine and repair it for us. We're prepared to pay whatever the job might call for.
Oh.
I'll tell John when he comes home.
It's been a real treat to see you, Mrs. Walton.
Thank you.
How are all those dear children?
Fine, just fine.
John Walton says they're regular thoroughbred.
Yes, ma'am.
I hope Santa Claus is good to everybody at your house.
Thank
Merry
you.
Christmas, Mr. Godsey.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you,
Merry
Mr.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Miss Emily.
Merry Christmas to you.
Come on, right there. Yeah, this bag.
Thank you.
It's kind of slippery, so be careful now. That's the cars. Buddy, let open the door, boy.
Where's John, Olivia? I've been expecting him by to do his Christmas shopping.
Well, John's not home yet,
Oh, he'll be along. John Walton would no more stay away from home on a Christmas Eve than fly to the moon.
Well, I know he'll get here if he can. It's just that 50 miles on slippery roads and then that long walk home from the bus. It's a lot of ground to cover. Well, I didn't mean to tell you my trouble, Zach. I've come for some sugar.
How much do you need?
Oh, I figure I can get by on about 2 pounds.
2 pounds. What else can I get for you, Olivia?
But I believe that'll do.
You have noticed I put in a line of toys this year.
It's a mighty sweet little doll.
Mm-hmm. And your youngest, she just can't take her eyes off it. She can't come in here without picking it up, holding it, babying it.
It's hard to explain the depression to children.
Did you notice the price tag reads 89 cents?
And worth every cent if a person is in the market for a doll.
I can let you have it for what it cost me. I won't make a penny on it, but we can do it for Elizabeth. 65 cents.
Thank you just the same, man.
If it's a problem of cash right at the moment, I can let you have a little credit.
Don't put temptation in my way, Ike. You know, John and I never bought anything on credit in our lives.
Just thought I would make the offer.
And I appreciate it. Merry Christmas to you, Ike.
And you and John, Lydia.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Sheriff Bridget?
Yes, ma'am?
You didn't happen to pass John Walton walking somewhere between here and Hickory Creek, did you?
No, ma'am. If I had, I'd sure give him a ride.
Well, how are the roads over that way? People getting through?
Well, as far as I can tell, Miss Walton.
Well, Merry Christmas.
Yes, ma'am. Merry Christmas to you. Well, what do you say, Ike?
Hey, Sheriff. Something I can do for you?
Well, you can give me about a nickel's worth of crackers and about a dime's worth of this bologna.
What you doing out this way? You looking for somebody?
Maybe. Maybe.
You wouldn't put a man in jail on Christmas Eve, now, would you?
I would if I could catch him.
You would.
You got a dime's worth?
To the ounce. Who is this man you're looking for?
Right there. Right there.
Robin Hood Bandit strikes again. Ain't he something? Many citizens of the outlying counties are enjoying Christmas this year due to the efforts of the man they call the Robin Hood Bandit. Each year since 1929, needy people have found gifts of food and supplies at their back door.
Usually, the appearance of such gifts have coincided with the disappearance of such items from the shelves of local markets. This year, it is the J&B Produce Company whose supply room was emptied of its turkeys and hams.
Seems a shame to arrest a man like that.
He's just making a laughing stock of me in front of the whole county is what he's doing. I'm tired of it. I got me in mind to arrest him before the day is out.
And what are you doing looking out this way, Sheriff?
I got some clues.
Like what?
Look here, Ike. You mind your business, and I'll mind mine. Strikes me funny that he never robbed you. Maybe you know who he is.
She'll be driving 6 white turkeys when she comes. She'll be driving 6 white turkeys when she comes. She'll be driving 6 white turkeys. She'll be driving 6 white turkeys. She'll be driving 6 white turkeys when she comes.
Why don't you try to get that station in Pittsburgh?
Oh, that is the station from Pittsburgh.
Well, I don't think you know how to work that radio.
Don't tell me I don't know how to work a radio.
Well, you're just going to bust it again. You try. There you go.
the Charlottesville
In New York,
station.
Mr. Lindbergh was welcomed on the steps of City Hall by Grover Whalen. Lucky Lindy, a former aerial mailman himself, has been in Europe surveying the possibility of airmail service between the old and the new world. He suggests that airmail service between Europe and America is practical and predicts that in the distant future, freight and even passengers might cross the Atlantic by airplane.
Cross the
Youngsters
ocean?
at the Children's
Why,
Hospital.
I wouldn't
in
fly
Boston
from here
today
to
by
rock
Christmas
fishing,
visits
one of the
to
things.
America's most beloved personalities, Babe Ruth and Will Rogers. As they toured the wards, Rogers joked with the children and performed some of the rope tricks he made famous on the stage of the Ziegfeld Follies. The great Bambino gave each of the children a baseball autographed by the entire Yankee team.
See anything of John
In the
Lee?
local scene, snow continues to hinder attempts to rescue 2 men trapped when a bus overturned on Route 29. The bus, filled with passengers homeward bound for the holidays, went off the road near Colesville. All passengers, except for the 2 trapped men, have been removed. No deaths have been reported, although many injured have been received in the University Hospital in Charlottesville. Over in Waynesboro, James Tucker announced that his store was about...
Oh, I wish it was spring of the year again. Forsythia blooming by the fence and the crocus coming up through the snow.
Daughter, we don't know he was on that bus.
I'd just as soon the children not know about that accident. If there's bad news, we'll tell it when it comes. A telephone is what we need. It's the first thing I'm going to get when this depression is over. Has anybody seen John Boy?
I heard him go up to his room. He closed the door and locked it again.
What does that boy do up there? John Boy? John Boy?
Yes, ma'am?
What you doing up there, boy?
Well, nothing, Mama.
Then what's the door locked for?
Well, I reckon it just got locked.
A door don't get locked all by itself. You come on down. Grandpa, John usually likes to get the trees, but I think maybe you and John Boy better get us one this year.
I know where there's a real pretty one, Libby.
Mama, can I go with Grandpa and John Boy?
Cutting down trees is men's work. A girl's place is in the kitchen.
But I want to go.
I need you to help me make my applesauce cake.
Oh, let Erin help you. She's such a prissy butt.
I am not a prissy butt.
Would you girls stop arguing and get busy? Go! What were you doing up there, behind locked doors?
Homework?
I don't see why you have to lock the door to do homework.
Sometimes I like a little privacy, Mama.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, son. Let's go and get that Christmas tree.
Grandpa, you ever been away from Walton's Mountain?
Not if I could help it. Spent my endured life right here.
How'd we come to get Walton's Mountain?
Well, it's all there in the family Bible. See, my granddaddy, he'd be your great-great-granddaddy. He come here in 1789 with nothing but an axe, a plow, a mule, and a rifle.
Well, I know where his old cabin stood. My daddy showed me the foundations one time.
Yeah. You got pioneer stock in you. You can take pride in that. This is fought for land.
Battles right here?
More than one. Flood, fire, freezing weather, diphtheria, scarlet fever, whooping cough, loneliness, hard times.
No, I thought you meant wars.
Them too.
Hey, Grandpa, we got something to show we own Waltons Mountain.
Hey, you can't own a mountain any more than you can own the ocean or a piece of the sky. You hold it in trust, and you live on it, you take life from it, and once you're dead, you rest in it.
You know, I'd just soon not think about that part of it.
You're not ready for it yet.
Are you?
Never. There's your tree, boy.
She's a dandy, Grandpa.
It's one I watched grow for all the time of its life.
You sure know how to pick 'em. It's the last string.
Can we put the decorations on now?
Well, you can get them ready.
Now, everybody, just
take it easy. You're going to break them.
Here's a red one.
I wanted to hang that one. Look at the silver one. You can see your face in it.
I got a homemade one. I wanted to hang one that was bought in the store.
Look what I found.
Now look what you've done.
You made me. You hit my arm.
I did
All
not.
right, everybody, now just calm down. Just hold it.
You watch your temper.
Well, they're all grabbing at once.
You're the oldest. You make them mind.
Well, I am tired of being the oldest. I feel like an old mother duck.
Can't do a thing about that now. You're stuck with it.
All right, next one of you that moves is going to get a spanking.
Won't be good, John boy.
All right, you just let me get these on, and then you can take over. All right? Now remember, keep your fingers crossed, because if one bulb has gone bad, then none of them's going to work.
You want some help, John boy?
Well, you can plug it in now, Jason.
I remember this one. We bought it in Charlottesville that year. Aaron got lost on it.
I wasn't lost.
Walked up both sides of Main Street 2 times and couldn't find it.
You probably just walked right past me. I didn't see you. All I was doing was looking through the pretty store windows. How come you cried when we found you? I did not.
What's that?
It's a blue jay's nest. Still got an egg in it.
You can't put that thing on the tree. It's full of mites. That old rotten egg will smell bad.
The egg is not rotten. I blew all the stuff out of it. Inside, it's clean as a whistle.
Look at that. It's still got bird poop on it.
What's a nasty thing like that on a Christmas tree?
I do, and it's not nasty.
You're such a crazy.
Don't turn blue, Aaron.
John boy, look what she's done.
You know, Santa Claus is going to take one look at that bird poop, and he's going to head right back up the chimney.
And I won't get my doll.
What's the matter with you, crybaby?
Santa Claus won't come because of you.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself, Mary Ellen.
Oh, you're all a bunch of piss ants.
Mama, 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 Mama.
What's the matter now?
Mary Ellen made Elizabeth cry. She ruined the whole Christmas tree with a smelly old bird's nest, and now she's calling us names.
What have you got to say for yourself, Mary Ellen?
My bird's nest is the prettiest thing on the whole tree.
What about this name calling?
She said we were pissants.
Well, you know better than that, don't you, Elizabeth?
I don't feel like a pissant.
There, you see. Oh, this bird's nest looks nice there. Oh, it looks real natural.
Daddy! He's
It's Charlie Sneed.
Great, Dana, money.
Come on in, Charlie.
I usually get a big welcome around here.
Well, we're pleased to see you, Charlie. It's just that, well, we thought maybe you were John.
Oh, ain't that rascal home yet?
We're mighty worried, Charlie.
Well, I don't blame you.
Charlie, would you like a cup of coffee or something?
No, I can't stay but a minute, Olivia. But I did know that John wouldn't have a chance to do much hunting this Christmas, so I thought he'd appreciate a little meat on the table.
Oh, Charlie. I don't know how to thank you.
You don't have to say nothing to me, Olivia.
Oh, this is the answer to my prayer. Fine bird, all right. Where'd he come from?
Oh, I shot him up on Wales Mountain.
Don't appear to be no wild turkey to me. Never saw a wild turkey this clean. What kind of shot you use?
Didn't. Got him clean through the head with a single bullet.
A sitting still bird? You shot a sitting still bird?
At 36 paces, Mrs. Walton. Clean off the limb of a dead chestnut tree.
I declare.
I think I'll cook him tonight. Sure looks like a store-bought turkey to me. Oh, won't John be surprised when he walks in that door and finds a Christmas turkey roasted in the oven?
Well, look here, I got some more stops to make before the night's over, so I'll just wish y'all a Merry Christmas.
Oh, Charlie, stay and have some of my applesauce cake. We'll slice one warm from the oven.
No, I can't, Olivia, but I'm much obliged to you. Why don't I, stop in more and spend a little bit of time with John?
You do that now.
Night, everybody.
Bye, Charlie. Hey, Mama, where you reckon Charlie got that bird?
Getting late, John boy. Milk the cow.
I think milking a cow is about the most disgusting thing anybody ever did.
You know any other way to get the milk out?
Daddy said it would be a lot easier if you could just screw off her tail and dip it out with a gourd. Did you ever have a date?
Oh, sure.
I mean a real date.
Well, yeah, I've had real dates.
Remember that time after prayer meeting when you walked home with Gwen Foster?
Yeah?
What'd you do?
We just walked.
What else?
Nothing else.
Did you kiss her?
I tried to.
Why didn't you?
Her daddy come out on the porch.
Have you kissed many girls?
Well, yeah, I've kissed a few.
On the lips?
Well, sure.
What was it like?
It was right nice.
I don't think I've got long to live.
Oh, Mary Ellen, will you quit?
Well, I just feel like any minute now I'm just gonna explode. By the time I'm 14, they'll wrap me in bed sheets and hide me in the attic.
And you better calm yourself down, girl.
I am calm. I will be calm. I am a calm person.
You've got the growing pains.
When do they stop?
Well, one morning you're gonna wake up and they'll all be gone. One day I expect you'll be a right pretty girl.
What good's a pretty face with a figure like this?
Oh, they'll grow.
What?
Your bosoms? You know, one day you might even grow up to be as pretty as your mama.
Hey, I'll race you home.
And spill this milk or I'm gonna kill me.
Okay, then I'll race myself home.
Give me that pitch about Kenny and Ratty and Buddy and
Hi, mister. Hi, Miss McGee.
Hi, I'm very busy right now, Teeny.
Hello, Teeny. You having fun? Sure. Me and Kenny and Buddy and Ratty and Johnny have been practicing our Christmas carol.
Mama, do you think I'm pretty?
What you want? This is if I didn't know.
No.
Right down there, and if you just hop
I think you're beautiful.
got a surprise for you.
I'm in no mood to surprise you. Best surprise you can get.
Thanks, Mama.
You're welcome, Mary Ellen.
Don't you like little children?
Where's everybody?
They're in there listening to the radio.
Well, okay then. So long, Miss McGee. Hey, kids, not yet, he said.
Darn kids. Breaking my back shoveling snow.
Why don't you let the children sing for you and get it over with, McGee? You ought to sit down and rest a while anyhow.
You know why I don't let them sing for me, Molly.
Churning in the
Why,
living
I
room?
hear a bunch of grubby little kids like
Well, I
that
just won't
singing
listen to
Christmas
Fibber
carols
Molly like everybody else.
I get all mushy and start forgiving everybody for everything they ever done to me. Uh-oh.
What is it, McGee? Did you find the key ring?
I don't know. There's something here, all right. Close to the sidewalk.
Ow! What was it?
That's all my overshoe.
Hey, Mrs. Walton.
My goodness, Claudia.
Where are all you boys and girls?
They're in the living room. What brings you out on such a cold, cold night?
I got a surprise for you boys and girls.
Come on in and tell them about it.
The big window, knocked over the floor lamp, put your foot in the
Look
gold
who's
gold
here.
grapes to keep from falling.
Hey,
Till
everybody.
anyhow,
Hey, Claudia.
Mom said she saw you. Merry Christmas.
Claudia says he's got a surprise. Turn that off.
They got a missionary box down at the store. Some woman showed up with presents. Says she's gonna start handing out presents just as soon as they get a crowd.
Hey, let's go. Yeah.
Wait a minute. We do not accept charity in this house.
Took that turkey from Charlie Sneed.
That's enough out of you, John boy.
Why don't you let him go? I can't see anything wrong with him getting a toy, an apple, or a candy bar.
Mama, can't we go down there and just watch?
What fun would that be?
It would be something to do. Can't we go as long as we don't take anything? Mama, we're just watching, see if the others get, please.
Let him go, Livy.
Well, oh, maybe it wouldn't do any harm just to go and watch.
Don't you all stay down there too long. And hold, somebody hold Elizabeth's hand.
I will, Mama.
Ben, button up your coat.
Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas, children! How lovely of you to come. I thought I'd never make it. I've never seen it so slippery out. Oh, come in, children. Join us. I know it's cold and you want your presents. But first, I want you to know why I am here. Who knows what a missionary is?
Somebody that spreads the gospel to the infidels.
Exactly. And I am a missionary. This year, I said to the ladies in our society, why look to some foreign country for heathens when the Blue Ridge Mountains are filled with them? So we didn't send off our gifts to some unappreciative savages, but to you, whose need is just as great. Now that is why I am here. And we shall begin with a song. Who knows a good song?
Away in the manger.
Splendid! How would you like to start?
Away in the manger,
no crib for
his bed.
The
little Lord Jesus laid down his sweet head. The stars in the sky looked down where he lay. The little Lord Jesus asleep in the hay.
Oh, again, louder, wonderful. Third verse. The cattle are knowing the baby awaits,
but little Lord Jesus no crying he makes. I love the Lord Jesus look down from the sky and stay on our cradle till morning is nigh.
That was lovely, children. Now, as everybody knows, Christmas is Jesus' birthday. And since the Bible is Jesus' book, I want everybody who comes up here for a present to have a Bible quote to tell me.
To be or not to be?
That's not the Bible, that's Shakespeare.
Anybody here know one?
What is man that thou art mindful of him?
Thanks, Marianne.
What is man that thou art mindful of him?
What is man that thou art mindful of him? That is a good quote and a good question. Do you know what it means? Does anyone?
It means he's so big and we such puny little old things. Why does he mess around with us?
Indeed, yes. Splendid. Come on, someone else.
Make a joyful noise unto the Lord, all ye lands.
Make a joyful noise unto the Lord, all ye lands.
Oh, what a pleasure you must be to your Sunday school teacher.
Got another one? What is man profited if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Too hard to remember. Jesus wept. Jesus wept.
Lord love you, child.
Got another one?
Thy two breasts are like two young roes that are twins which feed among the lilies. Shh. Solomon's Song, chapter 4, verse 5.
Thy two breasts are like two young roes that are twins which feed among the lilies. Solomon's Song, chapter 4, verse 5.
Thank you. Now, I have one for a little girl. How about you, dear?
Cast not your pearls before swine.
Cast not your pearls before wine.
Come on. It's perfect for you. It's perfect for you.
What's Daddy gonna say?
We won't tell him.
He'll find out.
Well, we'll just make Elizabeth hide it.
What'd you get, honey?
I think it's a doll. It's dead. Somebody killed it.
Now, maybe we can fix it.
Not in a million years.
We'll go home. It's 10 o'clock and Daddy's still not home. Mama's real worried and the rest of us are too. On top of everything else, we went down to the store and a lady was giving away presents. Elizabeth got a broken doll and it scared her. Nobody ever gave away anything worth keeping, I guess. I've been thinking about myself and wondering what's wrong with me. I just can't seem to stop growing. Well, Mama says it's natural, but I'm scared if I keep getting taller, I'll be a freak or something. I wish I could see a doctor about it.
The city are deserted at this hour, as Christians begin the observance of this holiest of holidays in their churches and homes. Church attendance is lower in the valley than had been expected.
I thought John Boy was in here.
Blizzard-like snow.
He went upstairs.
The storm arrived.
Maybe I think he's keeping some kind of secrets up
Snow
there.
plows are on the highway.
Lord knows he worries me to death. Every time I want to see him, he's up there with the door locked.
Stranded travelers are being given food and lodging by local churches and the Red Cross. One death has been reported from the bus accident near Colesville. Names of the injured are being withheld until next of kin are notified. The Merchants' Christmas parade was interrupted briefly due to a fire at the Hamilton Cook Hardware Company. The blaze was brought under control quickly, and the parade continued to the corner of 2nd and Main.
There's
There,
nothing
the
we can
switch
do
light
but
lit
sit and wait.
thrown by Betty Wright.
Can't
In our
sit
nation's
and wait
capital,
one more minute.
President Roosevelt and his family have gathered for the traditional Christmas Eve dinner. Later this evening, the president will
John Boy? John Boy?
Mama? A second, Mama.
Unlock this door.